That was a couple seconds of silence because today is the 25th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. Now, where was I in all of this? Well, I was almost 2 when that happened. It occurred 5 days before my second birthday. Now, it's a bit fuzzy because I was a little kid back in those days. So, I'll just tell things from memory. So, also, Dad told me all about this years ago. So here we go. So Mom and I were at the doctor's office that day. I was scheduled for a checkup. It's something to do with my motor skills because I was a little thing back then. When Mom and I got in, yes, this was during the analog era. I feel old here. So anyway, Mom and I were at the doctor's office that day, and when we got in there, Mom saw everybody glued to the TV. Everyone was covering it. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, every single news channel from coast to coast. Now, while that was happening, Dad was at church at the time. And one of the deacons, I think it was the deacon who told the priest this, he whispered something into the priest's ear. And the priest said to the congregation, well, this country has been attacked. So, Dad, along with the congregation, left. Yeah, that service ended prematurely. And Dad attended, I think it was St. Catherine of Siena, because I was baptized there. Coincidence? I think not. Anyway, and Grandma, she was at work that day. She worked for KBMC. Well, it's Marietta, and back then, it was an energy company. I think Grandma worked at the billing department because she was an accountant back in those days. And Grandpa was at home. That was my maternal grandfather. That was my mom's side. Your Grandpa was at home because he's been retired for so many years. And my Uncle Craig, he worked at AMRAP, which was a chemical company in Memphis. So, and Mom and I were at the doctor's office at the time. And when Dad got home, he watched it. He called his brother, well, one of his brothers in New York City. Well, I think it wasn't in New York City, it was in New York State. Yeah, his brother, my Uncle Paul, watched it on TV too. His other brother, my Uncle Steven, was down here. Well, he lived down here before he moved out to Arizona. Yeah, it was crazy back in those days. Because of that, heightened security at airports, train stations, you name it. It's all the victims and families. On behalf of every single American out there, we're praying for you. Even our allies, including Britain, played our national anthem. Thank you, Britain. Thank you, because Britain is one of our allies. And every single September 11th from that day on, elementary school, middle school, even high school, we honored that. Yep. I was almost 2. I was born 99. Yep. Jeez, I was a little thing back then. Oh man. For now, be 26 years old. It's crazy. So, with that said, 24 years ago, it's tough because we have to live with this for the rest of our lives. I'm pretty sure every single news channel like Fox News, CNN will do this on the 25th anniversary. And this country came together. I mean, either you're Democrat, Republican, or Independent or Libertarian, we all get them together. I think in the NASCAR world, I think it was a week after the attacks where Dale Jr. won at Dover and held the American flag, symbolizing unity. What was? Let's see, when was it? 2001 Dover race. Let's see, 2000. Oh, 1 second. Let's see, 2001. Yep, it was the MBNA Platinum 400 at Dover. That's where Dale Jr. won his first Cup race. And he held the American flag too. It was like the end of the race. Yep, it's symbolic because unity in this nation. Yep, the NBA coverage in June 400. Yep. I'm gonna read one of the comments. Not gonna lie, I shed a tear on the Victory Lab. Wasn't a junior fan at the time. Him winning it seemed right. Yes, yeah, some of these guys were older than I was. And one of those guys said, I was there 6 years old, and never forget, a member of the juniors crew gave me a Remington hat from Victory Lane. And one of them said, I remember being 8 years old during this race. I had a couple diecast cars. So, yeah, I was only 2, and those guys were 6 and 8 years old at the time. So, anyway, 24 years ago, never forget this. And to all the victims and their families out there, we're praying for you. That's it. See you guys later.